Coach Tony Aguilar from Eastern Guilford High School football. Coach, another good practice day. I know you didn't have a good one back on Wednesday. Day on Thursday practice, guys look good today. Got the job done. You guys finished on a positive note. Putting this work in, it's got to be tough right now. It's tough in this heat, tough in this humidity, but you guys are building and growing.
We are. If you came yesterday, thank goodness you didn't. You wouldn't have been saying the same things because we stunk yesterday. Today, the guys responded. I thought our coaches did a great job, great energy, and I thought the kids responded. Even though it's hot today, I thought we had a really, really good day today, and I'm proud of their efforts and proud of the work they've been putting in.
What are some things you guys have been doing in practice this week as you guys started? Things you've been doing?
Well, you know, you're coming off 7-on-7. Everybody loves 7-on-7, but 7-on-7 is not football. Because football is one with them big boys up front, our big cats, as we call them. And so now we're really emphasizing our run game. So that's been great for us. So we've been able to put the whole offense in, not just the pretty guys throwing and catching and all that kind of good stuff, but we've been able to actually work our inside run periods, work our team periods, and put the whole thing together. So we really been hitting special teams hard, and we feel like we're good there, but we just got to really work out the kinks and get everybody where they got to be.
You've got some big cats in this team. Sometimes the big cats, it's not about them being fast. Sometimes it's about them being mobile and agile for the most part. Got to get these guys agile.
Got to get them agile and got to get them nasty. That's the key for us. We do have some big linemen, but sometimes we got to get a little nastiness about them and mental toughness, and that's why we kind of do practice fast and practice hard the way we do, so the games aren't as hard for them. So, you know, you win and lose with them big guys up front, and so we're really, really excited about that group coming back. We got 4 of our 5 starters are back up front, and we feel like that's going to be the strength of our team.
Watching you practice, one thing that got my attention too, you practice fast. If you practice fast, there's not enough time for you to sit around and think about how tough this is. Just keep moving. There's no time to think about it.
That's right. We try to simulate game situations and games and you know, running on and off the field, running in county fair, just little things like that, because the other team's not going to wait for you to get set up. The other team's not going to wait for you to make a mistake. We got to call timeout. They're going to play, and so we got to adjust. So that's how we're just trying to simulate our practice, is by practicing fast as we can.
Yeah, I just got to talk about the county fair at my website back on Saturday, and 50 years ago, I remember doing the county fair. And I think once people do it, they never forget it, but it still exists. It still goes today. And the way you use it is a good way, because you run from station to station. You're doing things that make you aware of what you're doing. You're just attention grabbing. It's working. All things combined is a big, big plus. Usually when they think fair, they're excited about the rides and the popcorn and the big old turkey legs, but we don't have none of that. It's just work over here. And so, you know, these guys, it's not their favorite conditioning drill we do, but honestly, we don't really condition that much because our practices are so fast. But we needed that today to get a little tough and get adjusted to that heat, so we felt like it was necessary. If you had to take a vote man to man, I bet the guys would vote in favor of the county fair and those drills as opposed to having to do sprints. If you're not doing sprints in a practice, that's a pretty good thing, because you don't have to dread or worry about it. You're not saving up for those sprints. You go ahead and put it hard work in practice and do it then.
That's right, and we feel like, you know, some of the county fair stuff is football drills, football work, so a lot of movement, change direction stuff where you're not really getting running gassers back and forth. So we feel like, yeah, if we can condition them to football speed by doing football speed drills, then hopefully we're ahead of the game.
And if you teach and run station to station, that's movement too. And plus, if you don't run, you got to go back and do it again. After a couple of times, you'll learn the lesson, I think.
That's right. You got to do it right the first time, or everybody's mad and everybody's starting all over again. And so we try to get it right the first time. We usually don't, but we try to get it right the first time. If you done it the first time, you know, it's a whole lot easier on yourself. But if you don't, we got to figure it out and go back and do it right.
You talked about it during the breakdown when the guys when practice was ending, about the coaching staff and talk about being on them and their responsibility. Sometimes it's not the players, sometimes it's the coaches. You guys own up to a lot of this stuff, and you've got a good coaching staff. Got some new coaches too.
We got some new guys, but our core guys have been here since we've been here for 4 years. I told them yesterday, practice stunk, and it falls on me. We lose games, it falls on me. You're going to write about it, and that's just the way it goes. And if we win, I want it. It's on them. So I told them, I'll take the bad practices, but their efforts got to be better. And I felt like all of us, coaches included, we weren't good yesterday, and that starts with me. So today was very good. We had a quick meeting with the coaches. I said, we're all going to be better tomorrow. Players, we're going to be better tomorrow, and today we were. So today was good. Tomorrow we got to keep getting better.
An old coach in the old days used to have kind of a saying. He said, "Practice is my time, and the game is your time. So you better give me that time in practice."
That's why I love it, because Monday through Thursday is kind of our time. We can control every little facet as much as as we can. Fridays, you can't control the other team. So now hopefully you prepared them right and they can just go play. That's their time to play. And so that's why I love practices. And they don't really as much. But on Fridays, hopefully they'll see it paying off.
Got some guys coming back this year. I think you got your quarterback. He's returning. Got the big lineman coming in, Braxton Vega, probably one of the top linemen in the state, I would think. And I know you lost your top running back in Evans, but you've got some returning players that should help you.
On paper, we would have had 9 back on offense, but our tailback, and everybody's going to know this, our tailback had shoulder surgery, Jaden Evans. He's going to be out a couple months. Hopefully he'll be back soon. So that gives us 8 on offense back, and I think now we'll be at 6 or 7 on defense. But again, that doesn't mean anything because those guys got to step up and play, but we do feel good at what the guys got returning. And we got our linebacker, quarterbacks back, a crew of our receivers are back, and we're still young there. And then we got some guys in secondary have been, 2-3 year starters, so we feel really good. And our linebacking core was Solomon Howe and Braxton, 3-year starter. Like you said, I think one of the best linebackers in the state, and he's just got to prove it, and our whole defense has got to prove it. So
yeah, Vega's a big linebacker.
He's
too.
A big dude.
You think you'd be a defensive lineman as big as a linebacker? That's just a huge plus for you to cover that much territory. He does.
We're excited at the things he can do. We're going to probably use him a little bit more on offense than we have in the past because he's just a big kid that can play. So.
And Solomon Howe, he had some pretty good numbers last year too as a tackler.
Yeah, Solomon, second on team in tackles, had over 100 and something tackles, and those two have been together for 3-4 years now. And so we feel, though, the continuity between them is really good. They can get everybody lined up, and we can just kind of go. So we're going to rely on that senior leadership between our 2 seniors on the inside, and we got a lot to build on with them, so we feel pretty good.
Sometimes they say you're only as good as your last game. I was trying to remember your last game. I think it was that game against South Point down in Belmont last year, and you guys gave them a run for their money in that opening game. That was a high-scoring game. You nearly came out of it with a win.
It came down to who had the ball last, and they did. And they punched one in and got one late, but it was back and forth all night. We couldn't stop them, they couldn't stop us, and so we learned a lot from that game. We learned that you got to finish games, and so again, the bad part about football is you play once a week. Basketball, if you lose Monday, you get to play on Tuesday or you get to play on Wednesday. Football, you got to wait that whole next week to play, and for us, we're waiting a whole another year to hopefully get better and to get better in the conference and try and make a run as far as we can go. So we're excited about it, and we're just looking forward to getting things started. We got 2 great scrimmages coming up, and we will know really from there how good we are, because we're playing Eastern Alamance, who's ranked number 4. We're going against Southeast, who used to kick our rear ends. Northeast, who's really good. Moorhead's getting better. And then we open up with, 4A powerhouse, Northern Guilford. So it don't get no easier from there. So we feel like we will know where we stand in the first couple weeks of the season.
What's it going to take for Eastern Guilford to eventually be the top team, the top-tier team in the Mid-State 3A Conference?
Have Dudley move to 4A would help. But I know that's not going to happen. Coach Davis does a great job with those guys. That's who you got to beat. And you just don't have to beat them in the conference. If you want to win the state, that's who you got to beat. And we know that. We're not going to hide from them. We know they're one of the best teams, not just in our area, but across the state, and they've proved that. So we know we got our work cut out in front of us. Thank goodness he's lost a lot, but I know Dudley they just reload. So that is the end goal. Right now, our focus is on, first of all, ourselves getting better. And then next week we're going to be worried about Northern Guilford and down the road, but we know those Panthers and Smith's going to be better. Southern Guilford's going to be better. Rockingham, it's not a conference where you can, we got that win. Everybody's going to be better. Everybody was young, but we know it starts with Dudley, and that's the goal. We got to try and get as close to them so we can, in the fourth quarter, see what we can do.
And you got to be ready for Jack Mercer, Vance Boyer, and Northern Guilford, that first game of the season. Plus, the good thing about Dudley is you got them the last game of the season. Right. You got plenty of time to get ready for them.
Plenty of time to get ready for them, and we'll know who we are by then, because there'll be nothing to hide. There'll be 9 games. They'll be able to see what we got. And, like I said, we're starting off with Northern, and we got Williams, who's going to be a whole lot better. Got a really good defense. Western Alamance, 3A power. So we didn't want, some slouches or whatever you want. We want a good schedule to have us ready for conference play, to get ready for those teams, the Smiths, the Southerns, the Rockinghams, all those teams, and then eventually the Dudley at the end. So we're excited with our schedule and where we're at, but we know we're not there yet, and that's the ultimate goal.
Coach, keep working. You're doing a good job so far. Keep up the good work, and keep up the attitude when you go home. I hope you can play with your daughter, and hope your wife likes you again, and things are good today.
Hey, it's going to be a good day today. Appreciate it.